when I was facing the cancer and I was thinking about I may be vanished very quickly, I was afraid, but I was at peace somehow because I was thinking that yes, some parts of me and some parts of the consciousness maybe remain in this world, and I was happy about that. It was kind of a heartwarming thing for me. That's um that situation.
Yeah, it comes back to that theory that energy is just transferred. It's never lost.
Yeah.
It's always there, and what a reflection, huh? So this leads me to the next project, which is Entropy. And do you feel like having moved from that project into this one, you're kind of taking something from that one and moving into this one? Talk to me about this new body of work that we're about to look at.
Yeah, I put this entropy for today's presentation because it has a important role and what I have been through Half-Life and all the experiences I have with cancer. And I made that during the time I was working with Half-Life. And the important thing about this project is that I was also, besides myself and my health, the whole situation was something that I was really concerned about, the issues of time and what time is. And I was obsessed about that. So I started to teach myself for 1 year of physics, and I studied various theories in physics from Einstein theory of relativity to quantum physics in order to find a proper meaning of time. And I wanted to, I really was desperate to find an answer. And I chose a stone as a symbol of time because, the stone has been here on Earth from the early beginning. And they have been witness of lots of things. And if you show a geologist a tiny piece of stone, he or she can talk to you about history, can talk to you about time, and it was really meaningful for me. So I chose stone as a symbol of time, and I started to researching and teaching myself about physics and all these theories. But eventually, it also changed how I was seeing the world in my life as well. And the thing that it gave me helped me to cope with the situation that I have with my health and with all the things that I had till 2018. So I just quickly wanted to show you some pictures of that journey.
Okay. So this is Entropy, and you started this directly after Half-Life.
Yeah, because of the impact it has on my point of view, and it helped me a lot to cope with this situation. You cannot see it in the pictures, but it's for talking about my journey, how things are, how my projects are very personal, and how they impacted me and myself. I wanted to show this some pictures of this project. It's so important for me.
So you're doing.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was working also both outside, landscapes, and some studio shots that I made, and I used different techniques, and I was really curious about the rotations and everything that um, connects us with the concept of time.
Well, there's a contrast between the studio shots where you kind of isolate your images, isolate the rocks, and then you take them into the studio. Why did you do that?
I I was I had some sort of game with myself where I went to landscape, and I chose some stones at my way to be my guide for coming back to the base. And I just remembered some rocks, some little pieces. And then when I was at my way back, I collect them if I just go back to the right path. And I took him home, and then it is also a symbol of the guidance. And I wanted to play with them. I wanted to just separate them from their environment and see them without their background at the studio because the thing that I was studying, all the physics and all the theories about them are very abstract, like the art itself. And the thing you accept from art, you can find in theory of physics, and it was very astonishing. And I wanted to reproduce that abstraction again in the studio.
It looks like I'm looking at one image here. It looks like, is this the same rock you shot? Is this a multiple exposure?
Yeah. Yes, it's no, it's a digital collage in Photoshop. I made it in Photoshop, but it's the same rock. Yeah.
Yeah. And you're putting it in a circle. Is there a, now I'm looking for a metaphor in everything you do. I'm like, it might be just fascination. I'm kind of curious about this one.
Yeah, I made some studies about rotation. This is one of them.
Gotcha.
Because I really I was curious about how this rock looks when in rotation. How can we see the other side of it? And I was really into the moon and the earth. I started the earth. I started working with rocks, but I hooked up in space eventually. And so,
Yeah, it takes you there. It does. Yeah. Especially when you start to study the materiality of the planet, the rocks, the formations. You start getting really deep. This one is interesting. It's got a plant. I don't have another word for this. Like an imprint, or I'm just gonna call it a tattoo, a fossil. There you go. Yeah. I think it's just an interesting all in itself, and then we can kind of continue to move on here. But I'm kind of curious about you kind of talked about the inspiration and why you kind of came here. And you started, is this a body that's still in process, body of work that's still in process, or do you feel like you were done with them?
I think I'm done with this project, but I'm done with this concept because it gives me gives me a good perspective about what I was looking at, and I'm not after it at all. I don't want to know. Yeah.
So, after kind of an experience that you had, especially with Half-Life, and I see with Entropy, this is a kind of another kind of study. It seems like you started to look back at the details. You started to see things with new eyes. Do you feel like that was what this project was kind of a when you go through an experience that you had before, do you feel like now in this one you were really kind of now studying the world differently? Like you were looking at things a little closer than you probably would have?
Yeah, this Entropy I worked during the time that I was working also on Half-Life. And Half-Life wasn't at any serious stage. I was just taking pictures intuitively, as I always do. But working in this project with Entropy, it gives me a new perspective about how to see the world. When I was studying the quantum theories of physics, it gives me this aspect of life and the world that I can rely to, because I really am drawn to the science. And what I understand that was that nothing vanishes in this world. Everything stays, and everything can become everything else. When I was thinking about the little, the smallest particles of the universe that the scientists call it quanta, that we cannot see, and they are always here, even after decay. So when I was, after all this realization, when I was facing the cancer and I was thinking about I may be vanished very quickly, I was afraid, but I was at peace somehow, because I was thinking that yes, some parts of me and some parts of the consciousness maybe remain in this world, and I was happy about that. It was kind of a heartwarming thing for me. That's that situation.
Yeah, it comes back to that theory that energy is just transferred; it's never lost. It's always there, and what a reflection, huh?
Yeah.
That is that's an epiphany, and I can now see kind of this study. They're beautiful pictures, beautiful images. I mean,
thank you.